Hi guys, we're going to talk, I want you to finish this activity that we started in class on Tuesday. Finish this in your notebooks. So we remember we've got this kind of rectangular, almost rectangular shape around Utah. So if we were to draw a rectangle around Utah, it would look like that. About 270 miles wide and about 350 miles tall. And the upper right corner that's missing is about 110 miles wide and about 70 miles tall. So what we were doing the other day is figuring out the using the scale of 1 centimeter to 50 miles, how many centimeters we would need to draw this map of Utah. So let's see, if it's 350 miles going straight up, and every centimeter represents 50 miles. Let's see, 50 miles, 100 miles, 150 miles, 200 miles, 250, 300, and there's our 350 miles. Okay? So what that means is if we count, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that 350 miles in this 1 centimeter represents 50 miles scale turned out to be 7 centimeters. Okay? So really what we did there is we took that 350 and we divided it by 50. And we can do that with each of these different distances. The length along the bottom, it's about 270 miles. If I do 270 divided by 50, I get 5.4 centimeters. Remember, this scale is in centimeters. This piece, that 110 miles divided by 50, 110 divided by 50 gives me 2.2 centimeters. And then my 70 going up the side here, if I divide 70 divided by 50, would give me 1.4. And we do have two pieces that are missing, right? And Aiden came up with this idea the other day. If it's 350 miles all the way up here, but we've taken away 70 miles, that means that this piece would be 350 minus that 70 would be 280 miles on this side. And again, if we do that 280 and divide it by 50, we're going to get 5.6 centimeters. And then we need that same idea up at the top here. It should just be the leftovers, the leftover piece when we've divided everything out. I hope I did that last division right. But if it was 270 all the way across, and we're taking away 110, that leaves 160 miles for this piece. And 160 divided by 50 should be, sorry, that was 280. 160 divided by 50 should be 3.2 centimeters. Okay, so what I want you to do is, using these numbers, draw me a map of Utah. Okay, and you can do it right here in your book. You could do it on a blank page somewhere. I'm not sure it'll fit exactly in there, but don't be afraid to draw over the words if you have to, okay? So I want you to pause here, draw that map of Utah, and then we're going to come back and do the one with a different scale. Okay, so pause here, do that drawing. I'm going to erase. So here is my sketch. I used my ruler, and I took each of those sides and I measured them out using my centimeter ruler. I want to point out to you, just as a reminder, that we use the centimeter ruler because it's nice and easy to count, because every one of those little lines represents a 0.1. So if I need something to be 0.5 or 5.4 units long, I start at 0 and I go to 5, and then I count 1, 2, 3, 4, and right there would be my 5.4. So centimeters, nice and easy to use, right? That's why we like them. So now I'm going to do the same thing on the right-hand side of the page. It says make a scale drawing where 1 centimeter represents 75 miles. So I've made myself a table here, and I've put in the scale 1 centimeter, and I've got my units up on the top here. 1 centimeter represents 75 miles. So how am I doing this? How am I going from one to the other? Well, I'm multiplying by 75 to go this way, or I'm dividing by 75 to go this way. So if I need to know how many centimeters I need for 350 miles, I'm going to divide by 75. For 270 miles, I'm going to divide by 75. For 280 miles, I'll divide by 75, and so on. For each one of those calculations, it's exactly the same thing. We're using the same scale factor. We're dividing by 75. So I wrote those down in the back of my book because I can't remember the numbers. They were kind of oddball numbers. For 350 miles, I have 4.67 centimeters. For 270 miles, I got 3.6 centimeters. 280 miles, I have about 3.73 centimeters. 110 miles is 1.46 centimeters. 70 miles, that's less than 75 miles. So I should expect less than 1 centimeter, 0.946. And then for the last one, 260 miles, I have 2.13 centimeters. And that should not be 260, that should be 160, 2.13 centimeters. So now I'm going to draw this in my book using the new numbers. And I'm going to need to estimate a little bit. I can't get exactly to 4.67, but that's pretty close to between 4.6 and 4.7. So let me redraw that one now. And I want you to hit pause and do the same thing here, okay? Try to draw that scale map of Utah where 1 centimeter represents 75 miles. And there's my scale drawing. How does mine compare to yours? Did it come out the same? They should be about the same as each other, but I want you to notice something. The question here says, how do these two drawings compare? How does the choice of the scale influence the two drawings? So our first scale was 1 to 50, 1 centimeter to 50 miles. This one was 1 to 75. 1 centimeter represents 75 miles. What happened when the scale got bigger from 50 to 75? What happened to the picture? That's a little strange, right? See if you can figure out why that happened. All right, the next thing I want you to do is just read through the lesson summary. So I'm on page 77, 78, kind of highlight what's going on there. One of the things it talks about is how to write a scale and what equivalent scales are. And then there's practice problems on page 79, 80, and 81. And I want you to do those problems. One of them is to create a flag of Colombia, and you want to read those carefully. We've got a yellow stripe, a blue stripe, and a red stripe. Read the scale carefully and see if you can create that scale drawing. It may or may not fit in the space they left you, but don't be afraid to run over the words, okay? So the 4 practice problems on 79, 80, and 81. And actually, let's skip number 3 on page 80, okay? So do numbers 1, 2, and 4. And that's it. And we'll do lesson 10 tomorrow. And I'll see you guys Monday, but you have map testing, I believe, on Monday morning, okay? So we'll do most of our work on Tuesday of next week. All right, guys, take care. Bye-bye.